Good morning. Another beautiful Monday morning in the beautiful streets of Nairobi. This is Monday Blitz on TV47. I am Katela Macy, and kama kawaida I've got Dola Stanley right here and Leon Otieno. And before we move, not Leon Otieno, boy, I can be confused. But anyway, before we move on, good people, we as the football fraternity, we are mourning the loss of one of the key commentators we had right here. El Mago mwenyewe, he passed on yesterday, and we are sending our condolences to his family. We as the football fraternity right here. But anyway, gentlemen, mko wazima?
Tuko poa.
Kabisa?
First of all, allow me to pass my condolences to the family, friends, as well as every Kenyan football fan on the passing of football commentator Diblo Kaberi Elmago. For someone like me, I grew up listening to him, Peter Kirumba, Fred Arocho. So it's not an easy thing to take, because before the advent of audiovisual television, or before it became very popular, many of us used to follow football through radio. So may his soul rest in eternal peace.
Football through reggae. Unatuma rambi?
Kabisa jo. Sino watu tukunanzanga kusikia ball kwa radio Jambo. So inauma jo. Alafu na ni mtu 2 days 3 days ago ulimsikia akiongelea kwa radio akiongea ball nini. Jumu follow sana hiyo shughuli yao yenyewe na kuanga kwa the other radio station
Yeah.
Mua follow sana. So manze ni noma sana, si wenyewe tuko hapa kwa hii stage tunaongelea mambo ya ball, and then kuna mtu mmoja wetu pia alikuwa anaongelea mambo ya ball. Mimi niko na mjaka president watu. May soul rest in peace, Diblo Kaberi.
And the fact that he was an Arsenal fan, yesterday would have been a very big day for him. But mambo ya God tunaachia God. But anyway, moving on, good people, we have our question of the day, of which we can interact on our social media platforms. On our Facebook page, it's TV47 Kenya, TV47 Digital on X, and here's the question of the day. What's your opinion on the Arsenal fan celebration? Remember, Arsenal yesterday won the English Premier League season 2025-2026 after 22 years. Manze decades mbili and 2 years on top. Unajua hata Jacob wa Bible la kugoja 22 years. But anyway, what's your opinion on the Arsenal fan celebration? Because the Nairobi CBD was full, Thika Road, Mombasa, like the streets were red and were painted red and white yesterday, whereby people were wearing Arsenal jerseys, and kelele nayo ilikuwa mingi sana. So what's your opinion? Let's talk. Of course, our WhatsApp number is 0793267279, and our Facebook page is TV47 Kenya. Now, tuanzie, let me start here. Arsenal season 25-26. Remember, Arsenal is the only team that has gone the whole season with 0 red cards and conceded 0 penalties. Guys, let's talk about Arsenal. They had everything for me. Walikuwa na kila kitu actually. It was that if they didn't win this season, sijui ingekuwa ni aje. Let me start off with you.
For me, first of all, I'll say let Arsenal fans celebrate, because I saw some people saying that they are overdoing it. But for me, if you ask me, 22 years is a very long time, and winning it against a demon like Pep Guardiola is reason enough to do those world celebration. After coming second in 3 consecutive seasons, this was finally their year, and now they have made it count. They have bagged the title after 22 big years. The last time they lifted that trophy was way back in 2004. A kid that was being born at that time has gone through primary education, secondary education, and maybe if he or she was in college or university, they are on the brink of completion. So winning it against Pep Guardiola in his final season at Manchester City. Remember, Guardiola has only lost the title, had never lost the title in back-to-back seasons since he was since his coaching years at Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and now Manchester City. But for the first time, 2 consecutive years, he has lost it. But the biggest talking point here has to be about their defensive solidity. Once again, David Raya winning the Golden Glove for the 3rd consecutive season. I mean, he has been one of the most crucial players for the Mikel Arteta side. When Arteta wanted to compete, he knew that he would not do it with Ramsdale. So he went and now brought in a good goalkeeper, Raya, from Brentford. And it's befitting that they have won the title beside just him winning that individual accolade. So in the last 2 or 3 seasons, people are saying Arsenal is playing beautiful football, but the end goal is always the result. If you cannot piece the result or the trophy to your playing style, then it becomes a very, very painful thing, especially for the fans. So for this season, Arteta found a way of winning, and as they say, champions will always find a way of winning. So congratulations to Arsenal, and let's see how it goes. As for us, the Michael Carrick boys, we are coming for it next season.
I love the last part about, like everything, I love the last part. And to you, what do you think about Arsenal fans right here and the Arsenal team? Because for me, they've had an incredible season. They had the winning mentality all through the season, and we also sometimes they would even score 1 goal and pack the bus. All they wanted was the 3 points.
What wins you the trophy? Points. So during that period of first leg, the way Arsenal they were playing, they had believed that this season, if it's not this season, then we won't have another good season, better than 3 seasons tumekuwa nazo. So for me, let me first congratulate them. I'll congratulate Arsenal fans, because if you're a football fan, at times you remove that being biased. There's that banter part. You want to win the league, but in the ukijita meeting when you're alone, you're like, hey, these people are winning this. So for me, congratulations Arsenal. By the way, I loved what I saw. Yesterday nilikuwa nimetoka game ya Mathare ya Madem. Thika Road ilikuwa packed. It was packed with Arsenal fans and everything. Even in Mutani, there were some kids who were roaming around with a trophy, putting on Arsenal jersey. I was really happy seeing that as a first person who loves football. Apart from that banter thing and everything, they deserve that trophy. Those people have found their way since the signing of Rice, Raya, Gyökeres. They have found their way, and maybe let's wait for the weekend. We still, as Manchester fan, the way you have said, Michael Carrick, but Saturday we are PSG family.
You've said on Saturday, on Saturday Arsenal are facing PSG for the UCL finals. Umesema it's Arsenal versus the world. Yuko nyuma ya PSG. Lazima
PSG family.
Lazima iende mbele.
Iende mbele.
But anyway, I think, do we have the fans' reactions, Mr. Director? Do we have... let's listen to what some of the Arsenal fans had to say. Country where we had some from Mombasa, we had some in Kakamega. When you visited Nairobi yesterday at the CBD, man, it was intense. But let's listen to what the fans from Mombasa had to say.
Leo nimesikia furaha sana kwa tangu nizaliwe Arsenal walichukua kikombe, nilikuwa mdogo sana. Sasa hii nimekuwa ni Arsenal wewe! Arsenal wewe! Arsenal wewe! Arsenal wewe!
Jina lako? Mimi naitwa Jim Adede. Mimi ni Arsenal fan tangu 2003, 2004, the invincible seasons. Leo nimefurahi, niko hapa Mombasa tuna celebrate Arsenal team kubwa. Thank you Arteta, thank you the Gunners, North London forever.
Kwa majina naitwa Monica Mutindi Wanza. Mimi ni shabiki wa Arsenal damu. Leo tuna raha, tuna ngoli, kusherehekea na tunashukuru Mungu katika hii win. Arsenal oye! Arsenal oye!
Kwa majina naitwa Felisa Sibunza. I'm very much happy today celebrating Arsenal's win. Arteta oye! Arsenal oye!
Kwa majina naitwa Nicolas Ogola. Sisi kama fans wa Arsenal tumefurahia sana siku ya leo. Na leo champs lazima na hata champions pia inakuja. So tufurahie, tujitayarishe kwa champions sasa. Kama Teta na Teta hapo juu.
Wewe kwa majina naitwa David Kitonga. Leo niko na furaha sana kwa sababu ya kupata ushindi wetu Arsenal. Sisi tuko na raha kubwa sana kwa sababu tumepata kikombe hii. na tukimaliza kuona kikombe champion kuna tarajia Spain. Kwa hivyo Arsenal
Those are some of the fans in Mombasa, and you can't even want to hear what some of Nairobi fans were saying, but somebody said, thank God the World Cup is coming. Tutaongea sana. And still, there's this one man as we move forward in the English Premier League. There's this one guy who broke the record yesterday. The best of the best. Michael Carrick player. We had Bruno Fernandes yesterday. He broke the record of the most assists. All right. Bruno Fernandes in this season, let me just say, after Michael Carrick came in, Bruno has been fantastic. I think Michael Carrick is giving the boys playing time. I think mentally the boys at Manchester United, when Michael Carrick came in, we can see football kidogo kuna very change. If you see the performance of Kobe, if you see performance of Mateus Cunha, Mbeumo, Diogo Dalot, something has changed, but let's focus on Bruno Fernandes yesterday. Let me start off with you. About Bruno Fernandes' performance this season.
Bruno Fernandes has always been exceptional. Even when Manchester United is not performing at its optimum level, Bruno has consistently put that performance in. So at the start of this season under Ruben Amorim, he was playing in that double pivot role, of course, being utilized as one of the central midfielders in that 3-4-3 system by Ruben Amorim. But when it comes to being a creator, he has always been at the top level while playing for Manchester United, while playing for Sporting Club de Portugal, while also playing for the Portuguese national team. So him breaking that assist record, for me, I knew it would come someday. I didn't expect it to be this season, because if you can remember, he started off playing in a deeper role alongside Casemiro. But then in the mid-season, after Michael Carrick came in, he was now moved to his primary creative attacking midfield role. And so far so good. He has proven that he can carry the team on his back. He can create high volume of chances. It's not the first time. If you look at his statistics for like around 4 or 5 seasons, he has topped the charts for chances created, big chances created from open play, as well as chances created from the set pieces. His first assist this season came against Liverpool. That was in game week 8. So that basically means in the first 7 game weeks he did not have an assist. And since then, in the 26 or so game weeks, he produced 20 assists. So that basically means he was averaging like around 0.9 assists per game. For a midfielder, that's good work. Fernandes broke the record, the individual record that has stood for the longest time. Since Thierry Henry that was in 26 years ago?
2005, 2006.
Around there, like around 21 or 22 years. That was the individual record that has stood the most. Only Kevin De Bruyne came and matched it, but he did not even surpass it. So recording that 21st assist yesterday, it just puts an icing on the cake of him being a very good player and a very good playmaker for that matter.
To you, Charles.
For now, what I'll say, you give flowers where people deserve flowers. For me, if you ask me, Bruno Fernandes, I normally use this example each and every day. If you remove Bruno Fernandes from Manchester United, that's a rich Posta Ranger in Europe. You know rich Posta Ranger Kenyan team? That's a rich Posta Rangers in Europe. So Bruno Fernandes, for me, is one of the players in Manchester United that he has really proven that sometimes an individual captain can lift a team and put it to another. Last season, Manchester finished in 14th position. This season, they have finished in 3rd position, meaning there is an improvement, and not only good players that came to Manchester. It's about collective responsibility that came in when Carrick took over from Amorim. Another thing I'll say, Bruno Fernandes didn't just broke the record of English Premier League, he also equaled the record of all-time assist in a season, because it was being held by Messi and Müller. They both had 21 assists. So right now Bruno have equal even the one in Europe. Right now there are 3 players, Bruno, Thomas Müller and Messi. They both have 21 assists in a season. And I normally say this, if Bruno had good strikers in that team, right now we could be talking about 21, maybe even 30 assists in a season. But because we have players, strikers in Manchester who are not that who are not that, let me say, they are not that clinical. But if you had good strikers in that team, Manchester, Bruno could be talking about 30 assists in a season. Another thing I'll say about Manchester United, if they're going to compete for another tournament right now, they need to bring players who are going to fit in that Bruno's shoes very well. I mean, in Casemiro's shoes, that Bruno can play with a player who is very productive and a player who knows what to do. Because Bruno, I normally look at Bruno playing and I'm like, And then there's that discussion why Bruno won the PFA. If you go back, there are players who have won that PFA without winning the league. Likes of Henry, likes of Bale. But the discussion is like, why did Bruno won the guy is exceptional. The way he has won those awards, individual awards, Bruno. That's another player siwezi ongea juu yake. He's top player.
Still on the English Premier League, my director unajua ni mtu wa Ingo and anasema waluya na salamu that nimehave kumkata. But Arsenal fans celebrated countrywide. Let's go back to Arsenal by the way, because director amesema yeye ni mtu wa Mluya lazima sijui Kakamega and everything. But let's listen to what some of the fans of Arsenal in Kakamega, we have some in Homa Bay. Yani tuende hapo Homa Bay kwanza. Tusikie kama Oswayo ni mdomo chao. And how they celebrated yesterday. Remember, Baba was a fan of Arsenal. So yesterday there was somewhere people celebrated by even having his picture. Okay, I am ever Arsenal and everything. Let's listen to what some of Arsenal fans had to say in Homa Bay.
As a club is anchored on some objectives, and the same objectives that are in London are the same objectives that we share in Kenya and we share in Homa Bay, to be particular. So as Homa Bay fan group, we are so much happy, we are delighted. It is a fantastic moment. We can't just explain, words can't explain. Of course, our actions is telling what we are feeling as a people.
Leo tuko na furaha, mbwembwe na hanjam, tukisherekea ushindi wetu wa kuinua kikombe kwa miaka mingi. Tumekuwa na utulivu, imekuwa njia isiyo rahisi, lakini leo tunasherekea, hatutaki mambo mingi. Kwa hivyo leo tunasherekea ushindi na tunatakia mafans wote wa Arsenal waendelee kusherekea, na tunajua huu ndio mwanzo wa maneno mzuri ambayo zinakuja. Asanteni sana.
And we have to celebrate this victory. The major one is coming on 31st. And we are very sure we are getting that cup. Let us get ready. Arsenal fans, this is your moment. Celebrate, and continue celebrating. Thank you.
Many. Tumetulia tukingojea ushindi wetu. So this is the day we are celebrating. Let us celebrate, everybody, Arsenal fans worldwide. Today is our day. Let us celebrate. The cup is home. Thank you.
I guess the whole of this week itakuwa ni kelele, of which we were very much prepared for it, but some of Manchester United players said wameshazoea these things. Now we also let's imagine that as I say, there were a lot of celebrations up here in Nairobi, CBD, Thika Road. There were watch parties here, a lot of watch parties here in Nairobi. And as I said earlier, watu wengi sana, they were imagining what if Baba was here. There's this one thing. What do you think Arsenal did so special this season that iliwafanya washinde? Because Arsenal performance, manze, imekuwa, okay, let me just say this, imekuwa top notch. Arsenal have been good. Even if you listen to their fans, what they were saying, Jana from Tao, the whole of Thika Road, they were like, ilikuwa yetu, tulijua ilikuwa yetu na mapema. Walikuwa wanasema it was the years na mapema. So before we come to what fans here in the CB, here in Nairobi had to say, Ebu, unaona nini Arsenal did different this season, or what Mikel Arteta did different this season?
What Arsenal did different this season was finding a way to win. Because as I said before, when we started off, champions will always find a way of winning. If you can remember, around 2 or 3 seasons ago, Arsenal fans or Arsenal players used to lose that momentum towards the end of the season. But then, if you look at this season, you could see that clear mentality, even from the likes of Leandro Trossard, just pushing till the end. The other thing that Arsenal did was they did some very good business in the transfer window. I look at the signings they made in the off-season transfer window and say these are quality signings that elevated the team. Piero Hincapie has been very, very solid as a left centre-back as well as a left-back. Victor Gyökeres, sometimes I do feel Arsenal look like a complete team with the Havertz as the playmaker, but it reaches a point that you need a natural goal scorer to put the balls in the back of the net. The other player, Eberechi Eze, we all know Eze's quality from Crystal Palace, from the England national team, and you can see even at times when Martin Odegaard, their captain, was not at his best, Eberechi Eze stepped up, and in that creative role, he was very, very instrumental. So this season, I think they considered around only 26 goals. That will be very good for a title winning side, but the most important part is when it mattered the most, they showed up.
Charles, what do you think walifanya different this season? Because for the past, they were number 2 for a very long time.
3 seasons.
Yeah, so what do you think made them be different this season?
Consistency in that pushing. Yeah, because ukisema, if you have said they have finished 3rd in 3 consecutive seasons, that means this team, ukiangalia chances of winning a trophy, it's higher than any other team. Because in these 3 years, 2 different winners have been there, which is Liverpool and Man City. So for them finishing second position in 3 consecutive seasons, it's one of the best for them. And another thing, they lose as an end of an era in football. For me, it was an end of an era of Pep Guardiola. Things were not working out. From Champions League, from Premier League, they lose some games which are necessary. So it was an end of an era of Pep Guardiola. And if you look at it very well, who have been pushing Pep Guardiola to the wire, it's Arteta. So for me, if you ask me, players also believed. And they had some players in that team who have at least have the winning mentality. And I told some days back when he had a show, I told one of my colleagues here that a player like Rice really pushed that team. If you look at the time they lost against Bournemouth, it's only Rice who was showing that, guys, it's not yet over. But other players' body language showing that, majama, hii ni kaina tutoka. And then another advantage that Arsenal had, and I told people, Arsenal had advantage that Man City were playing 2 games at hand. It's so dangerous to play 2 games in hand when your competitor has won his or her last 2 matches. So you are going in that game having 2 games in hand, but they are not points. And that's, if you look very well, Man City played 3 games in 7 days. That was very tough. They played a league against the game and played the FA, and then they played again a league match. It was very dangerous for the team. It was very hard for that team to catch up. Yet this team is going with that mind that, guys, and then when they played the semi-final of Champions League, now they were going to relax. Nothing was bothering them. Because when they lost a game against Bournemouth, they had Champions League match. But when they played the semi-final and qualified to the final, now they had a time too. And that's why they found their way.
Well, before we listen to what Nairobi fans had to say about this, I'll just ask, let me start off with you. Which player, there's this individual player, because Martin Odegaard as the captain, hajakuwa na season fiti sana, unajua injuries and everything. So who is that one player, when I ask you, in your own opinion, that one player that you think alisaidia sana this Arsenal team? Because I remember sometimes back, Arocho said Arsenal ilikuwa lack a leader. Because when you saw, when Arsenal wakifunga, there's the way Gabriel Magalhaes pressure inakuja. You know, there was that lack of leadership kidogo pale, no. So who's that one player that yourself think aliweza, like ile, when that player ukisikia Arsenal, you think of that player that at least alikuwa game changer?
For me, I will say, as Charles has said here about Rice being a leader, yes, Rice was a massive leader. Remember, he's English, so he's at home. And his performance was also matching what he says, what he talks in the post-match interviews, what he talks in the pre-match interviews. But for me, the biggest difference for this Arsenal team this season, I will say, is David Raya. Because if you have someone who can consistently carry you, someone who can consistently win you points, then definitely you have a very good starting point off in a league. So David Raya has won so many points for Arsenal this season, And for me, he was the catalyst for this performance. I would say many people have been saying Declan Rice for nomination of that PFA award, but if it was up to me, I would give a massive, massive shout for their goalkeeper, David Raya.
Charles, who's that one player? Because Stanley hapa amepatia David Raya.
Me too. I'll go back 2 seasons ago when Man City won the league. Do you remember the chance between Son and Ortega? 1-on-1. Where Son lost that chance. Now I'll come back to this season, West Ham against Arsenal. That 1-on-1 between Raya and West Ham player. That's the chance that gave, that's the save that gave Arsenal the title. Because by that time the game was still 0-0. If that goal had gone inside, we could have been talking about something else. So for me, it's David Raya. That guy have picked points for Arsenal when the Arsenal were going down. When they were losing, or maybe they were fighting for a draw, or maybe when they were winning or they were fighting for a draw, Raya really kept them there. And for me, Raya. I'll go for Raya. Raya.
So, okay. Both of them said to go for Raya. Now, there's this question. Yesterday, I was at a watch party, and some of the Arsenal fans were saying that they are here to dominate for the next even 5-10 seasons. Unajua, do you think wako ready to win the next season? Maybe 3 seasons zenye zinafuata. Keeping in mind that Manchester United have signed Michael Carrick, and we've seen what Michael Carrick has done when he joined Manchester United in January.
Yeah, in football, it's always about possibilities. There's all the percentage that it can never be 0. So the champions will always have a bigger hand, or will always be the favorites heading into a new season. So yes, Arsenal are favorites for winning the next league title. But if you also look at the other teams, they have made some massive news for themselves. And it's always a gamble. Arsenal or Manchester United have given Michael Carrick that head coach role. It's the first time he's coaching in a top flight league in permanent capacity. Of course, he has been at Manchester United in an acting role before, where he did not lose even a single match. He was at Middlesbrough, almost led them qualification to back to the Premier League. Look at Chelsea. They have brought in Xabi Alonso, a very class midfielder during his playing days. Won the league unbeaten at Bayer Leverkusen, as well as the DFB Pokal. Went to Real Madrid, and I don't think he was sacked because of the results at Madrid, but he was sacked because maybe he failed to get that to be a team. It became more of individual players, individual quality players, not as a team. Liverpool have Ancelotti. Ancelotti won the league in his first season after joining from Feyenoord, but last season was a little bit of mishaps here and there. I don't know how they'll go in the transfer window, keeping in mind that they spent a lot of money in the other window, bringing in Ekitike, Alexander Isak, Frimpong, as well as Florian Wirtz. Man City most likely will be confirming Enzo Maresca as their head coach. Maresca was at City before as an assistant coach to Pep Guardiola. So we can say he has that tactical philosophy instilled in him. But now the most important part is always the implementation. So next season, it will be a very, very interesting time for everyone in the league. Manchester United, I know they'll be going in hard in the summer to spend, of course, replacing Casemiro. They have shed off quite some good amount of money in their wage bill by Casemiro's contract, or Casemiro leaving Manchester United. I know Jadon Sancho contract will be running out in July, if I'm not wrong, so they'll also be shedding another huge chunk of money off the wage bill. They have qualified for the UEFA Champions League, which basically means they will get some very good cash for their transfer business. So how they spend it, how they replace Casemiro, and how they keep or how they bring in the new signings will be very key if Manchester United will perform next season. And if you ask me, if Manchester United manage to get a defensive midfielder, another central midfielder, as well as a left winger and a focal point of attack, maybe this team is 3 or 4 quality signings from competing next season. So yes, Arsenal are the clear favorites to heading into the next season, but we cannot authoritatively say that they'll be dominating for quite a good time to come.
Charles, do you agree with the Dola Stanley?
I do agree, because at the end of the day, football, the way you have said, is a project or a process that you take time. So Arteta, and I remember the quote of Ferguson: for you to dominate in English Premier League, you have to suffer at least for 2-3 seasons. Then when you get it right, you'll dominate for at least 4 seasons in a row. And if you look at it very well, Liverpool dominated, although they only won league, but at least in Champions League you are seeing them competing for that league. Then Guardiola have dominated Premier League for the almost 9 years, 8 years. Is it 9 years? Yeah. He has dominated that Premier League. Because if you compare the managers who have been in Premier League, Guardiola is still the best manager who was there. And he knew how to sign. Guardiola knew how to make sure that at the end of the day, I have to bring this player when things aren't going hard. When he sold De Bruyne, when De Bruyne left, Guardiola knew Haaland's goal will reduce. So what did he do? He brought Semenyo to assist who? To help Haaland. If Semenyo will not score, if Haaland will not score, Semenyo will do what? And that's, at least if you look at the top scorer, Semenyo is in 3rd position, if I'm not so wrong. So for me, Arsenal, the way I've said, they're still the favorite as a football fan now. But when you go to Banta, they are done. They are done. When you go to Banta, you know what Banta is, they are done. But if you reason in a football way, always the champion goes there as the favorite. And now, let me tell you, good players also come to Arsenal now, next season. Yeah, there are people I'm sure they will leave. Like Havertz, I'm not so sure if he'll be there in the next season. Jesus, their player will be leaving. So they'll have to find good players again. And then when you go to Manchester, we only need a clinical striker. That's what I normally say. A clinical striker who doesn't laugh with that net. If Bruno had a player like Rooney, Aguero, we could be talking a lot of 40 assists in a season. But at the end of the day, kulele tuko nao kwa meza. And we are Cisco.
Wacha tusikie what some of Nairobi fans had to say. Manze, jana, the CBD, Thika Road, every watch party, ilikuwa, it was noise. Let's listen to what some of the fans had to say about Arsenal winning the EPL 2025-26 season.
Mimi naitwa Kaware, team 90+. Kama fan wa Arsenal tonga 204 tukichukua ligi nilikuwa ni class 8. Sikuona because nilikuwa mchezaji. Nimevumilia mpaka saa hii. Sasa saa hii nimechukua. Na sitaki nilikuwa nataka hiyo ya 31st. Hiyo sherehe itakuwa hivyo. Sasa ni 30th. Sasa 31st tutakuwa na sherehe hapa, ukuje uongee. Nachukua hiyo ngine. Thank you baba.
Mtaniona jua kama Mr. Budapest man. Leo tunasherehekea kombe letu after 22 years na tutasahau bado next Saturday tuko na mechi kubwa kabisa. Tunaomba mtukufu rais wa Arsenal asikubali hiyo mechi tupigwe na tutasherehekea times 2 hii ya leo. Hivyo ndio naweza sema.
Arsenal last ikishinda ligi ulikuwa wapi?
Nilikuwa I don't know. Hata sijui nilikuwa wapi for real. Sijui nilikuwa wapi but it's been long.
Shughuli ya leo?
Shughuli ya leo nimeshukuru sana, tunaenda kuchukua hiyo cup.
Na 30th?
Hiyo sasa ndio main. Hiyo ndio main. Hii ndio tulikuwa tunatarajia but ile ndio main.
Leo manze nimefurahia sana manze. Timu yangu nimengoja sana man hata kani, lakini msisahau kuna watu wako na 18 years bana bado hajabeba kitu. Manu bado hamjabeba.
So we are basically saying that Africa has always been the epitome of Arsenal. We are the biggest supporters and we are looking forward that we have Talanta Stadium. We are looking forward to Arsenal playing on Talanta Stadium one of these fine days. We are so happy. 22 years is not a small time for us to have waited. Ile furaha tuko nayo. We can only credit Arteta. When others walimtukana, sisi tulisimama na yeye. Arsenal wamesimama na watu wao na Kenyan fans are the best. We are looking forward to a win when we will be meeting PSG in Budapest. And we can basically tell you that Arsenal is the future. I can dare any other team in Kenya that has supporters, including Manchester United, Manchester City, and Liverpool. If they can pull what Arsenal has pulled, we can basically tell you that they can't. because Arsenal is the team of future, is the team of now, and is the team of the past.
Kwa majina kwanza naitwa Hilary Mzembi. Mimi ni Arsenal General pale at the River. Mimi nimefurahia sana kwanza siku ya leo. Mimi kama fan wa Arsenal, furaha niko nayo. Sijaipata kama leo.
Mwambie last uliona Arsenal ikibeba ligi ulikuwa how many years?
Last uliona Arsenal ikibeba nilikuwa last nilikuwa 6 years. Nilikuwa 6 years. Hata babangu ndiye alikuwa ananiambia Arsenal ilibeba 204. Hiyo wakati niko miaka 6 na hata sielewi nini inaendelea.
Mafans wa Man U kitu.
Mafans wa Man U nawaambia hivi, mtavumilia tena miaka kama 40 kwa sababu
for the last 22 years hatuja-win ligi na tunaambia Arsenal players asante sana for bringing this home, but it is not only a trophy. Hii ni funzo kubwa sana to the world that patience pays. Na watu wa Man U tafadhali msituonee si kwa ubaya, lakini times have changed. Sasa hivi tunauliza for 14 years mmekuwa wapi? Mmekuwa wapi
nyinyi for 24 years mmekuwa wapi?
Tumekuwa tukingoja na imekuja kwa ubaya. Imekuja kwa ubaya.
Jina naitwa Peter Ngitari. Mimi kama fan Arsenal nimengoja sana kama mama ambaye amekuwa akingoja kupata mtoto. Leo sasa amezaliwa. Inamaanisha kwamba uombe na ugue patient for life.
Baba ameenda bila kuona ligi. So nimeona nivae t-shirt ambayo nawakisha mzee baba. Inua hivi waone. Hii ni baba Raila Amolo Odinga. Nyuma pia ni baba. Raila at 80. So you mededicate kwa baba? Nimededicate EPL kwa baba na rais mdugu William Ruto. Kama unaona mahali, utupe holiday tushangilie hii kitu vizuri sana.
Well, I'm just surprised that Arsenal are the winners, but I don't know why they are really focusing on Manchester United, you know. But anyway, that's watch it was because Manchester United are used to this. They've had this cup for, I believe, 13 times. But anyway, still on the English Premier League, let's talk about Manchester United signing Michael Carrick as the head coach. We've seen his magic, we've seen what he's done. And so far, everybody talks about Carrick magic at Old Trafford. Dollar Stanley, tuanzie na huyu Michael. If you see, these young coaches are really doing good. Because if you look at Mikel Arteta, if you look at now the signing of Michael Carrick, Xabi Alonso, if you can see at least the young coaches, I think they're really doing good. Let's talk about Michael Carrick at Manchester, because when he came in, Manchester ilikuwa pabaya, and right now they've qualified for the Champions League next season, and he has really done amazing player performance. I think his man management has been awesome. If you look at you can't compare the performance of Kobe during Amorim and his era right now. If you look at Diogo Dalot, if you look at some of the players, Ahmad, Dollar Stanley, let's talk about Michael Carrick first.
The most important thing that Carrick did when he came in at Manchester United first was playing players in their natural positions. If Luke Shaw is a left back, play him as a left back, not as a left centre back. If Kobe Mino is a central midfielder, play him in that central midfield role. Bruno Fernandes, for example, was playing in that double pivot. That seriously inhibited his creative instincts, because Bruno Fernandes is a player who can give you a chance out of nothing, anytime, any day. He's a player who can create a clear goal-scoring chance when given the opportunity. But when you play him far back, just in front of the defense, you then seriously raises questions about your capability, about your reading instincts, and if he can give you the best in that position. Many people have said Carrick is performing because he's playing in one competition for a whole week. There is a period in 1 month Manchester United played only one match. Was it in March or February?
March. They said midterm.
Yeah, yes. So, but if you ask me, I would say under Carrick, Manchester United is playing the Manchester way, which is quick transitions from defense to attack, score a goal. If you watched Manchester United under Sir Alex Ferguson, the only other time that the Manchester way has come close to being replicated was during the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Let us get the quick transitions, score the goals. It doesn't matter how many we concede, but the most important part is we have to outscore our opponents. And that for me was a very, very big plus. But my biggest worry with the United under Carrick will be do they have the squad depth to compete? Because the only one match that Kobe Mino did not start under Michael Carrick, Manchester lost. That was the first loss by Michael Carrick. So that raises serious questions if the central midfield role is stuck. Of course, we have Manu Ugarte, but I don't see him as a very, very top player because he's more or less a one-dimension player. So Ugarte may not be a very, very good key player for that matter. He's going to the World Cup, yes, but will he be a starter next season? Quite debatable. Will he be a quality addition or off the bench? Quite debatable. And if you ask me, I will go in for 3 new signings if Manchester United want to compete. And the priority signing for them should be Sandro Tonali because he has that intensity, he has the physicality, as well as he fits clearly into the tactical plan of Michael Carrick. The other player I will go in for is Matheus Fernandes of West Ham. Why? Because West Ham being relegated means he will be available in the market for a much, much lower price than if West Ham had stayed in the league. He's a player who can play multiple positions as an attacking midfielder, as a central midfielder. And the third player, I will now go in for someone who can complement or someone who can be a substitute or an alternative to Kobe Mino. And that will be between Carlos Baleba, who is a left-footed midfielder. United don't have that at the moment. And maybe, just maybe, Ederson. Although I have clear doubts about Ederson because of the last 2 or 3 signings United have made from the Serie A have proved not to be working, have proved to be catastrophic, the likes of Rasmus Højlund. So most likely United will be signing Ederson as their first addition in the off-season window. But the reality of the matter is that Manchester United midfield needs at least 2 new midfielders. But if it was up to me, I would go for 3.
Felix, before I come back, I have a question for Dola Stanley. Let's talk about Carrick's magic at Old Trafford.
Carrick's mission was just to make sure Manchester played Champions League next season, and he has done that. So for now, it's for the management to make sure that they bring in the good players that will match up the Champions League quality. Because of the day, if you go with that squad of Manchester playing in Champions League, we'll just leave we don't even qualify in the group stage because we don't have that quality. And then if you look at the game Manchester played against Sunderland, the game we drew 0-0. That's the time Carrick proved to the owners of the club, I don't have a bench power, because he started with Ugarte, Zagzi, and likes of Fletcher and whatever. So he was trying to show them that, guys, at the end of the day, if not Bruno's and Casemiro and everyone, we can't win the match. So for me, there are like 6 players who have to live in that team, like Ugarte, those of Zagzi. There are so many players who are going to leave. For me, the signing of Baleba, the way I've said it, the signing of Ederson, and then there's this Nottingham Forest player. Is it Anderson?
Anderson.
Anderson, yeah. And then maybe another player who can also fit in Diallo's shoes, because at the end of the day, after AFCON, Diallo has never been the same Diallo. I don't know if he was playing for Amorim, because after Amorim leaving, that's when Diallo starts playing. I don't know what happened to Diallo, because during first leg, Diallo really helped Manchester. But now when he came back after AFCON, totally was a different Diallo. So for going for Champions League, you have to have a quality players. There are players now, Manchester, I'm sure they're going to attract, Manchester are going to attract them because they have qualified in Champions League. Because there are players who like playing in big stage. Yeah, so that's the only thing they're going to do.
Before we listen to what some of Manchester United fans had to say, let me ask first you, Dola Stanley, when you talk about signing new players at Manchester United, when the same question that fellow you've asked, kama hii ndio timu itaenda Champions League, do you think that Manchester United have the defense line? Let's talk about the defenders at Manchester United. Because sometimes when Buchanan, Lisandro Martinez is not there, when you have the likes of Maguire and Euro playing, and if we don't have Diogo Dalot and Mazraoui starts, the defense line of Manchester United, let's talk about it, because you've only talked about signing midfield, but forgetting Apa Nyuma, you know, Maguire has been doing good, but Can we have a team that where we say no Maguire, no problem? Can we have a team that people can say no Lisandro Martinez, no problem?
United have a deficiency in defense, and it's not a doubt, because this season they have been bailed out for a larger part of the season by Eden Heaven. And Heaven is a very young player. Just 2 seasons ago, he was playing in the Premier League 2 with the Arsenal youth team. He is now starting for one of the biggest clubs in Britain, if not the biggest. So that centre back, I will get in another new centre back, because 1, Lisandro Martinez is injury prone. 2, Eden Heaven and Lenny Yoro are still young and budding. Yoro is around only 22 or 23. Eden Heaven is only 19. And then 3, Harry Maguire has been superb, but then again, he cannot stay fit for the whole season.
True.
We have seen it, his time at United. Even this season, while he was around, he has not been fit for the whole season. So the only player who has been consistent in that Manchester United defense and injury-free this season, then that is surprising, is Luke Shaw, because Shaw started all 38 Premier League matches. I do feel sometimes Diogo Dalot gets a lot of stick for unnecessary stick, because Dalot has always played a huge part for Manchester United, and you'll always feel his presence when he's not on the pitch. When he's on the field, people say he has some rusty decisions. Sometimes he does not make that final pass well, but when he's not on the pitch is when you see that there is a problem. So United have not lost a match that Dalot started at left back this season. So I will go in for a new centre back, keeping in mind that Matthias De Ligt may not be available again for the whole season, because he has just undergone a surgery for the back. So next season, at the start of the next season, that basically means Man United will be having Lisandro Martinez, Harry Maguire, Eden Heaven, and Lenny Yoro as their centre back, their centre back choices. And they will be playing in 4 competitions: the UEFA Champions League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and the Premier League, which is a 38-game marathon. So United need also to sign a centre-back. So I think this United team needs like around 5 new signings. A centre-back,
midfielder,
2 midfielders, a left winger, because this season they were playing with Patrick Dogu as a left winger, and maybe Matheus Cunha, who is more a natural out and wide attacker, and maybe someone who can deputize Benjamin Sesko as the focal point of attack.
To you, Felix, before we listen to some of the fans of Manchester United, do you think Manchester United really need defenders?
Yeah, they do, because the consistency of defense have not been there. Delight was very good by the time he was getting that injury, and he really helped us. So when Delight left, we never had someone to fill. Lisandro Martinez injury, people like Yoro, the age also inachangia sana. Then player like Evans pia age inachangia sana, because if you look at the football of nowadays, the defense need maturity. And if you look, there's so many teams which are winning this trophy, defense, there's that maturity. And maturity does not come in football when you are 16 years, 17 years. You may be a good player, but now when it comes to maturity, most of these defense players are 26, 25, and that's when unapata Manchester, they have not been getting it right. Because if you look at it, only Luke Shaw, if I'm not so wrong, is the oldest there. Then Mazrui have been off and on. Then Diago, Dalot also on and off. Martinez injury, Maguire sometimes being criticized. So there's not that really in that defense. But when they get it right, like only 3 players, when they get it right and they play at least a quarter, half a season without injury or without changing the squad, then it really helps us. But if we don't have that system whereby we don't know who is starting, only Luke Shaw have played 37 games. He has started 37 and played 38 in totals. That means, but that's surprising, because if you look at the players we were expecting to have injury, is that Luke Shaw. So for me, that defense line, goalkeeper, we have no problem. At least we found someone who can really fight for us too.
Well, all right. Yesterday it was all about Arsenal winning the league, and we forgot that Manchester was playing Brighton, where they scored 3 goals, and Bruno Fernandes broke the record. Let's listen to what some of Manchester United fans had to say yesterday.
Anye season imekuwa ngumu sana. Najua tulianza na Amorim, mambo ikaenda mbaya, Carrick akakuja, timu imesimama, tunakubali. Kene najua next season Carrick ameshikilia team iko balanced. The signings you are going to make, we hope to land Tonali, we hope to land Fernandes, we hope you are going to get another midfielder kama Carlos Baleba. Next season niko sure Arsenal nawaambia, mwaka huu tunawapongeza. Congratulations Arsenal. I know we are bitter but we congratulate you. Next season tunawahakikishia Man U inachukua league with 5 games to go.
Well, me being a Manchester United fan, I believe that next season, if we have good signings next season, we are coming in for you. But still on the English Premier League, when we come back, we'll be taking a very short commercial break. We'll be talking about West Ham being relegated and Pep Guardiola leaving Manchester City after 9 years and some few days. Generally, when we run it off, it's 10 years at Etihad. We'll be right back.
Sundays at 8:30 p.m.
Good morning.
You have my rent?
Leo jioni kama tutakuwa tumelipa rent, nauza simu yako.
Hamna pesa. I need 3 G's to make my nails today.
Sasa hivi natuhusu aje?
Can I order now? Do you ship? Can I get blinking ones?
Mimi nilikuwa na trade. Nimewekelea kitele yangu. Kitele yangu na trade. Ikikunywa maji.
Oh my God. You left me. Nitumie ni line.
Uko nje kuna wifi.
Why? Hi-Fi?
Wait, so what do we call this dish again?
I have no idea.
The cucumbers are there specifically for my beauty routine.
Tamulini kero umeka kwa beauty product.
Na ameenda.
Tunafaa tukuwe na logo yetu. Like, si ni brand already.
We won't entertain divas. No. I'm not dealing with a man child.
Amazing. Nishapenda hii energy.
Sundays at 8:30 p.m. on TV47. Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
My father used to tell me that our hotel is the home for travelers. I guess I forgot that. Recently, it's been more of a mirror of my own ambition. We might fail. We will probably fail, but not for a lack of trying. So for the last time, and the first time, welcome to Connect In, the best experience in Eastern Central Africa and its environs.
Saturday at 8:30 p.m. on TV47. Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m.
This is a very serious place.
I see that.
Surely. Hey, Nyumba.
This is the place.
Just for a few days.
Rule number 2.
Kwani Google inajua maisha yangu wewe?
That's my seat. It's a chair. It was hers.
You're new here? Yes. You learned the rhythm.
This place is run by structure. Structure.
It is a system, ni venye tu ni system haisikizi.
And what happens if something you haven't chosen enters your day?
I remove it.
That's not always going to be possible here.
Then you are going to have a problem.
Noted.
What are you planning? To escape from a resort?
This is not a resort, my friend. This is a storage.
Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. on TV47.
My father used to tell me that our hotel is the home for travelers. I guess I forgot that. Recently, it's been more of a mirror of my own ambition.
And welcome back to Monday Blitz on TV47 each and every single Monday morning. And before we move on, but we're still on the English Premier League, let me remind you of our question of the day. What's your opinion on the Arsenal fans' celebration? Manze, Jana, they walked from CBD. Thika Road was painted red and white. Send in your contributions to 0793267279, our WhatsApp number, and on Facebook it's TV47 Kenya. Now, still on the English Premier League, I'll start with you, Dola Stanley. After 10 years at Manchester City, Pep Guardiola left. Manze, it was so emotional yesterday, him crying, the guard of honor that the players did for Pep Guardiola. It has been an amazing 10 years. He has won trophies for Manchester City. And somebody said yesterday that Manchester City losing, it's because they were not mentally okay knowing that Pep Guardiola was leaving. But if you look at their last 3 matches, I think when they knew that Pep was leaving, Manchester City kuna vile mentality, because even football mentality on the pitch really matters. Dola Stanley, Pep Guardiola leaving Manchester City.
Guardiola leaving Manchester City gives me a PTSD of when David Moyes joined Manchester United just after Sir Alex Ferguson's tenure, because Manchester City, be rest assured that they'll struggle. They struggle because one, Guardiola had built an identity, and then two, because the successor may not just come in and get massive success. Of course, people will say, for example, in the case of Arne Slot coming in after Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool and winning the league in his debut season, but for Manchester City, well, I know they'll struggle because there are not so many top managers in world football right now. And that's the reason why Real Madrid, for example, are going back for Jose Mourinho, because in the market, you'll not find very many top managers. But Guardiola's tenure at Man City has been a massive success for the club. This is a club that won its first league title like around only 14 years ago. But then from there, it has been success after success. Under Pep Guardiola, Man City won 17 titles, including 6 Premier League titles, won the first ever and the only Champions League title in history, won the FA Cup, won the Carabao Cup in back-to-back season. So them, I know they were very emotional because they know that it's not going to be an easy ride. It's going to be a very bumpy ride for them. And this could be a make or break moment for Chelsea, for Manchester City, in the sense of if they get the successor right, they have the blueprint for success. But if they do not get that right, maybe now it will be manager after manager, shuffling after shuffling. But the good thing for them is they have a huge financial backing, and they also have some very good players in that squad at the moment.
Felix, Pep Kuishia, do you agree that Manchester City will suffer kidogo?
It's an end of an era. When Man City needed a coach to dominate that English Premier League, they knew the only coach who is in the market and who could help them is Pep Guardiola. And he really did that. Yeah, walienda na hesabu na ikawaka. So at the end of the day, there are not that good managers outside here. I don't think in this era of this manager, there's a manager who can get 5 years in a season, in a team.
I'll have to get you off kidogo. We have a caller, Sammy from Vihiga. Good morning, Sammy. Sasa Sammy, huyu Vihiga ama Vihiga. Sammy angepanda juu ya meza.
Yeah, so I don't think there's now managers. There are no clubs who can give a manager a 10 years period. Right now, there are not those clubs. They give a manager, if it's many years, 3 years, give us the trophy we need, or give us the success we need. Then after there you go. And these clubs, the one which Charles, my colleague have said, that this club will have money. Manchester United, Madrid, Man City, Chelsea, Bayern, they don't have that patience with coach. You give us trophy, you fail, you go, you give us trophies, we give you another 2 years. So getting coaches like Pep Guardiola in this era right now, they are not there. They are not there. And then when he was asked about Ferguson thing, he said he was really happy to see Ferguson experiencing his his success in football. He was really happy because people like Ferguson have been their godfather. So Man City, they're going to struggle. They're not going to get it right. In 2-3 seasons, they're going to struggle. Yeah, because if you look, even the good players are leaving. Bernardo Silva is leaving. Stones is leaving. They have to bring another player. And if you look at these managers who have been in Premier League, Pep know how to fix his team. He can go to Everton, get a player who is just an average player and bring him to Man City. Go to Crystal Palace. We have seen what Gui have been doing. So I don't think there's another manager who's going to fit Pep Guardiola in Man City during this era. Maybe in era to come.
We pray for Manchester City, we as their cousins. But anyway, yesterday still, the final day on the English Premier League, there was a really kulikuwa battle between Tottenham and West Ham, whereby they were fighting not to be relegated, but unfortunately West Ham was relegated even after beating Leeds United 3-0. Let's talk about West Ham being and Tottenham's survival still at the English Premier League, keeping in mind that Tottenham have everything. Tottenham wako na stadi mpya. Like it's so sad seeing such a team like Tottenham be in that position. That was not the Tottenham that was there. Keeping in mind when you had players like Song, Harry Kane, it's so sad to see Tottenham being in that position. Dollar Stanley, Tottenham survival. Do you think that next season at least mambo itakuwa poa for Tottenham?
I saw Roberto De Zerbi celebrating at full time, but for me it was just frustrating. It was frustrating because for a club of Tottenham's stature, celebrating surviving relegation on the final day is just funny. This should not be even on the cards for such a club like Tottenham. This is a club that less than a year ago, they won the UEFA Europa League, beating Manchester United in that final. This is a club that basically can sign some of the top players. You know, the English Premier League is shaped in such a way that it has a huge financial backing that a mid-table club in Britain can sign a player from a club like Sevilla or Atletico Madrid, a club that is in the UEFA Champions League. So it was frustrating because for people like Manchester United, Arsenal and Chelsea fans, they know that Tottenham being the league is one of the guaranteed point teams that will beat Chelsea.
Kidogo Dollar Stanley. We have a caller, Sammy from Vihiga. Karibu sana, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
How are you, son? How are you?
I'm fine bwana. Salimia mabingwa hapo.
Mabingwa umesalimika?
Mimi ni supporter mkubwa wa United na Tusker FC Kenya Premier League. Okay. Maybe the issue that nasema first of all ni congratulate tu hawa watu wengine ambao wamekuwa na mdomo mwingi tangu jana hata tujakuwa tukipumzika. Hey, these guys bwana. Hani ukitembea na fan wote hasa unasikia tu security. Hasa fan wa Manchester United ndio security wangu. So imekuwa terrific kidogo, lakini all in all nacha tuseme tu congrats kwa hao kwa sababu for whatever they have done, yeah, they deserve it without any red card, without any penalty. Yeah, wana deserve. But now the issue that tuko now with United right now, as much as nimesikia mapunti wakiongelea in terms of Manchester United,
okay,
but mimi as per now as a United fan from those years nina complain too bado to the Glazers family, because how ndo mekuwa hii circle imekuwa United, how ndo mekuwa kitu sumbua sana. So as much as Karika kwa there, hatujui the budget tuko na kama United, as much as they'll be given, if that budget it has stimulate in buying quality players for the Champions League. Yeah.
Okay.
So if the Glazers family, if they can now, they open up to United, give United time, kocha mpate nafasi ya ku buy players. Hii cups tuko nazo kama hii treble, yeah, the FA, the Premier League, skudanganyi, hiyo itakuwa kitu kama kitu itakuwa tu mswaki mara moja tukienda, yeah. But the impact too ni we thank God at least the season tumeona Mbeumo, the signing Mbeumo, Kunia, Sesko, they have really tried by the way this season. As much as wamekuwa na hizo flukes, but the moment tutakuwa na new signing, mimi wakina Sesko, wakina Zirki meta aki for real. That guy me again pressure from day one when he United. Hata nakubali Mashala alikuwa ngabeta kidogo. Mashala when he came to United, Zirki bana hata take kuchafuka kwa uwanja. That guy is ever clean. Atakuwa na ile sacrifice kama Mbeumo. So these issues of Manchester, if we can have quality players, and then the Glazers family this time they just be open to United. But actually United they do their own stuff in a good way. Hata kama kuna miliki the Ineos, the percentage that they gave them, hata kama wanaweza increase their percentage,
yeah,
because that guy, you see the fella the Ineos guy akona ability ya kusaidia club to move to a greater heights. Okay. So my suggestion is they give him time, and hopefully all shall be well. But mafans wa Arsenal, hey, hii si mwisho dunia. I am just praying. I'm just praying, guys. Najua nasikiza all over Kenya. Hii Saturday, hii sijui. And if something will just happen, if something will just happen in the Champions League final, sijui Sunday itakuwaje, because itakuwa hectic, itakuwa hectic, but all the best. Nashukuru ni poa if you can emulate, fans wamekuja kujitokeza kwa wingi. Even then yesterday it was okay. There was enough good security, kukuwa na any issues kwa town, ili show we are heading somewhere as fans of Kenya. True. But the main thing again, our local football tuipeleke pia mbele. Vile tumekuwa tukifanya hivyo tena, our local football, like hivyo tunaona South Africa, Kaizer Chiefs na Super Sport, ama Kava na Mamelodi, hizo fans wenye wanajaza uwanja, wanatokeza wengi coach game the Premier League, as much as we are doing the best, but again let us again emulate in terms of now supporting more to our local football, for us to have greater heights. But guys, nimeshukuru, and I'm saying again, pole sana kwa my friend Dibulo Kaberia. He was a very good friend of me. Nakumbuka tukienda kusupport Tusker top 8 na Gor Mahia City Stadium. Kuna time tulipitia makubwa, I can remember, tulisumbuliwa na mafans wa Gor Mahia sana wakati. But nashukuru that time Dibulo tumekuwa na yeye, tumekuwa tukiongea mambo ya ball. Anyway, it's a sad day, but again, it was safari ya kila mtu. But guys, nimeshukuru sana.
Thank you so much, Asami from Vihiga. Anaambia watu wa Arsenal, tafadhali mtulie. And if at all on the 30th they'll win the UEFA Champions League, itabidi watu wengine kama sisi tuhame kidogo for some times, but the best thing is that World Cup is coming. Dollar Stan ilikuwa nimekata kidogo.
I was saying that the ripple effect of West Ham being relegated is now they're going to lose a lot of their quality or key players, because there's no good player who's going to play in the second tier. The likes of Jarrod Bowen can still give you something. Matheus Fernandes, already very many top clubs are luring him into their team. Mohamed Kudus, although he had already left, is just an example of how teams will come and pick your key players if you're not performing at the top level. So after 14 years, West Ham being relegated, I know maybe they did not anticipate this, because they won a trophy just recently, a European trophy, and now getting that relegation, it's not a very good thing for such a club. But now it's a learning process. The problem about going down is now your transfer budget will be cut, you lose your key players, and there is a possibility that you could go even further down. Right now, Leicester have been relegated to the third tier just recently. So I feel bad for them, but then again, it is what it is.
Maisha iko hivyo. Let's come back home on the SportPesa League, whereby right now only 2 games remaining. I think Ligi is kuisha. And yesterday, Kogalo, they're reclaiming the title, of which they are currently bound with 68 points. Yesterday, after AP Bomet beat AFC Leopard, Gor Mahia jana muliona, they are the champions. And so far they said they are back to where they belong. I'll start with you, Felix. Tuongele story ya Kogalo hapa, their performance this season with their coach Charles O'Connor. All right? Kabla kwako wacha tusikie Joseph from Samburu. Good morning, Joseph. Joseph, good morning.
Good morning.
Uko mzima Joseph?
Niko poa.
Unashabikia timu gani, twende nalo kwanza?
Mimi ni mwana Arsenal bunduki.
Aya. Tupe vidonge.
First of all, kwanza ni kutoa rambirambi zangu kwa David mwana wa Kaberia. Mungu amlaze mahali pema. Number 2. Halo.
Yetakupata loud and clear.
Number 2 ni kufurahi kwa sababu ya mafanikio ambayo tumepata baada ya miaka 22. Tangu wakati wa Invisibles tumepitia mengi. We have gone through a lot. Kejeli, kumokiwa na mafans wa especially Manchester. But we thank God that finally we have made it. Alafu wanasema ati tunasumbua. Hatujaanza kutesa.
Kwa hivyo tugoje bado, more to come.
Bado hatujasumbua. Tarehe 30 Jumamosi.
So we should wait on the 30th, right?
Ni mbaya.
Na ni mbaya. Asante sana Joseph from Samburu.
Kwa hivyo nashukuru sana. By the way, alafu kuna yule jamaa aitwa Alan Nzuki yako wapi?
Alan Nzuki sahi hawezi hata umpata Nairobi sahi, alihama kidogo.
Alisema hata waganga wa Kitui wakizunguka Emirates. Hatuwezi pata kitu man.
I'll make sure ako hapa next Monday.
Next season ikianza hivi akuja.
Next Monday atakuwa hapa.
Namtamani sana.
Asante. Monday make sure uko tuned in, atakuwa hapa.
Kabisa.
Asante sana Joseph from Samburu.
Otherwise, thank you for the good work. God bless you.
You too, have a good day. Tumembo to go to 30th by the guys. To you, let's come back home. Kugalo.
So before tuende home kwanza, wacha nimwambie this time walilipo mganga. Wamekuwa kimtumia dola alafu ana reverse.
This time ili
go through mganga alitoa immediate. So tukirudi home, first of all congratulations to Kogalo for winning the 22nd title in Kenya Premier League. So tukirudi vitu zilianza tu kitambo, hizi mambo ya game kutochezwa siji wapi. Then ukiangalia poa, AFC they are not been competing for title. They've been competing against Gor Mahia. Gor Mahia have not been competing against AFC. They have been going for title. But AFC neja kwa compete ya title. Imekuwa tu ikiangalia venye goli inacheza, maneno kwa mtandao nini. At the end of the day, hiyo game ya ni game gani ili kuchezwa? Hii game
Mara Sugar. Gor na Mara, yeah.
Imekuwa na issues. So AFC what they had to do wangefaa kupiga tu Bomet. Hiyo tu. Hiyo game ya Gor maybe leo kesho ingechezwa. Au angefaa tu kupiga Bomet. So sasa hii ukiangalia hata kwa vitu zinaongelewa kwa mtandao inaudhi. If we really have to make football isonge mbele, umefail yes, then accept as a sportsmanship, una accept yenyewe imeenda, tulicheza party yetu imekata, because when you lose and then you start bringing problem to Gor Mahia na ume lose game yako, unakosa kuwa na sportsmanship ndani yako, because you have not been playing Gor Mahia again each and every day. Kuna hata hapo maneno wengine, so motivation pia imesaidia. Gor ukiangalia hata ukienda kucheza game mahali kuna venye wanalikamua do inawekwa, and then sponsorship, in terms of sponsorship, TV rights, wana deserve to win league ukiniuliza, cause even nimekuambia in terms of support and everything wana deserve. Then another thing naweza sema Gor wamebeba ligi, but to me venye tu tuliongea about Manchester, quality of players in Gor Mahia, hapo ndo sasa tunataka kuona sasa blanda. Hii quality Gor iko nao sasa haiwezi cheza CAF. Katela haiwezi cheza, itacheza yes juu fixture iko, but competing for CAF itakuwa ngumu. Watarudi pia warudi soko. Hiyo tunaweza sema.
Before we see the highlights and what the coaches have to say, Dollar Stanley, Gor Mahia winning the title.
Gor Mahia winning the league was expected because if you look at the last 3 winners of the league in the preceding season, they have been in the top 3. When Kenya Police won the league last season, they were in the top 3 in the previous season that Gor Mahia won the title, but did not participate in the CAF inter-club competitions due to the club licensing rules. So Gor Mahia brought in a coach from Ghana, that is Charles Akonor, former Ghana captain, former Wolfsburg midfielder, had massive success in his playing career, and now came in as a coach with his full technical bench. I think that has to be one of the first time in Kenya that we saw him coming with his assistant Kobe Bismarck, as well as the goalkeeper trainer and the data analyst. But one of the catalysts of Gor Mahia's success this season has to be they have found a way of getting the points when it mattered the most, especially in the dying minutes. Look at the game against Shabana. They won in the 82nd minute or 84th minute, that header from Alpha Chris Onyango. The same happened against AFC Leopard. In like around the 82nd minute, they struck and won the game. Against Kenya Police, they got a very late draw. Against Muranga Seal, they won late on in the first leg and also in the second leg. So Gor Mahia this season found a way of winning, but as I said in the earlier show last week, the biggest catalyst for their success this season has been the mid-season transfer window. They made some very good business in bringing in Ebenezer Sifua, Frank Odhiambo, as well as Jackson Duang, and that has catapulted them to the trophy. But for AFC Leopard, after a massive underperformance in the last few seasons, this should be a building point. Now go in and get some 3 or 4 quality players that are coming in to elevate the squad, not just any other squad players. This season they signed some very good players. Brian Ojok in that right back role, James Kinyanjui as a right winger, Tyson Otieno in the attacking midfield role. But how will they keep this team? Keep this team, go into the market, get some 1 or 2 exceptional players from the Kenyan market. You can cast your nets outward and sign some 2 or 3 foreigners. Foreigners who are not just coming in to fill the squad, but foreigners who can come in and start the game, the likes of Alan Katerega, like they had in the past. So AFC Leopard should go in, maybe the Congolese League, some of this Ivorian or Senegalese league, and sign some 2, 3 players that will help them. Ingwe have not been performing very well when they play on surfaces that do not allow them to play those short passes to build up play. If you look at the matches, they have lost against APS Bomet in Kericho, the match they lost against Mara Sugar in Awendo, the match they drew against Bandari away. They were all factors, all matches that the playing style inhibited them. And going into the new season now, they'll have to find a way of winning, because if you want to be a champion, you cannot afford to lose such crucial points.
Talking about AFC Leopards after they were beaten yesterday with APS Bomet, let's listen to what the coach had to say, and then we can discuss more on AFC Leopards because before the chairman, Boniface Ambani, came in, AFC walikuwa combo, but so far we've seen they are number 2 right now, but something is really wrong with the AFC leadership. Let's listen to what coach had to say about their loss yesterday.
Nataka kusema hadharani, kama tuwezi badilisha officiating Kenya, tuko na problem. Hamwezi pata game kama EFC, magame zina decide ligi, then unaangalia refa kama huyu, origin yake ni wapi kwanza, alafu unampea game kama hii na decisive game. Ni mazeni upuzi. FC nini, federation afa angalie, amenyima Beda alikuwa anaenda kufunga bao, hiyo ni ashamtoka, ameshika ball hadharani, then no booking, no nothing mode ya kuna haiwezi happen hivyo. Huwezi kuona kuja wa game na usha make decision kitu unataka kufanya, it's wrong. Federation anaangalia game kama hizi, mazeni anaangalia marefa wanapatia game kama hizi. Sijai complain you referee, but today only thing tutajipanga, lakini pia itakuwa ni kazi bure kama makocha wanafanya kazi na uamuzi unafanyika pale pengine, itakuwa ni kazi bure. Kwa sababu hatuwezi kuuza mpira Kenya kama kuna vitu chini ya maji, hatuwezi kuuza ball Kenya. Hatuwezi, we have to clean what the mess ile hapa kwa nini mess ile kwa officiating, lazima tu clean, then tutapata fairness kwa kila team. Mimi sijaitaka refa nisaidie, but it's so bad tell una prepare team the entire week, then inakuja unamlona referee vitu wanafanya so wrong, but we will keep on preparing our team atajali.
Well, that was Coach Fred Ambani, and after his remarks, it brought in a lot of mixed reactions, whereby a lot of people are saying there is no way a head coach can talk like that, talking about a referee from a certain origin, you know, kidogo maongezi yake Coach Fred Ambani. Wacha nianze na wewe Felo. Vile Fred Ambani anaongea, because somebody said it's as if they are just looking for somebody to blame. If they're not performing, they're looking for somebody to blame, because their last game, watu wanasema bao yao ya pili ilikuwa offside, of which walinyamaza, they never talked about it. But when it's not favoring them, they take the blame to the officiating. And if you remember what Boniface Ambani said about FKF still on officiating matches, let's talk about Coach Fred Ambani's remarks.
Okay, mimi ukiniuliza First of all, referees are human being. Sawa? Kuna decision they will not favor you as a coach. But ye maybe akona hiyo 1-2 seconds kuona wewe uko na time ya and everything kitu kifanyika ndani ya kiwanja unataka ngikuwe side yako. Hivyo ndo tuko. Sasa problem inatokea hapa Katela. Hii problem yote FC inaanzia juu. From the office. Ukiangalia the way SG anaongea, the way chairman anaongea, itateremka hadi hapa kwa coach. Juu atakuwa na feel kama chairman wangu anaongea hivyo, kama SG wangu anaongea hivyo, hata mimi ndaongea tu. But now as a coach kuna vitu nafaa kumind sana inatoka kwa mdomo yako. SG one day said akisema kwa interview, alisema ajui hata mambo ya ball. He said that. Ukimwambia SG weka huyu SG anacheza namba 10 ajui hiyo, yeye ni mtu wa yeye anajua mambo ya ofisi. So ukiangalia mtu kama huyu akiongea mimi ndamuunderstand. But when a coach anakuja kwa mtandao and say something like that on that, tunaangalia origin. Tunafaa kuangalia origin ya referee. Definitely then atujui tunacheza. Inamaanisha basi football is from different community only. Inafaa kuraniwa na community fulani. In your team you have people from different community. Hiyo yenye anasema hivyo timu yake kuna people from different community. So niambie referee alirefio game, akona mtu anatoka the same community na yeye kwa hiyo club. Hata filaje. So at the end of the day Kenya inatoka kwa mdomo wetu when we want to develop football ina mata sana. Mimi hapo to be honest Fred Ambani I do respect you but hapo umenifail. As a sportsmanship umenifail. You don't talk about origin of someone when you are ni sawa inaweza kuwa ni feelings zako zenye uliongea. But sasa zile unakaa chini unajiuliza football ni kitu ina involve every person. Iwe unatoka siji wapi ama wapi. Club yake yenyewe iko na watu wangapi watu wanatoka from different community. So kuna ita affect. Na FC wamekuwa tu wakitafuta hizi vitu zote. Juzi tumesikia SG akisema Tigori imepewa 10 penalty zao wamepewa moja. Boss upewi penalty kwa changing room. Sawa, upewi penalty kwa changing room. So kuna ndio nimekuambia huyu akiongea huyu ajui mambo ya ball. Sawa? Kuna zile vitu kianza kuongea wewe kama leader ina affect even the players. Let me tell you the truth. It affect players. Cause player na feel si tume lose trophy sababu hatuja win game. But wewe unakuja unaambia player, unaongea kwa media unahusu ati referee alikuwa sijana toka region gani, sijui timu imepewa pena ngapi, sisi tumepewa ngapi. Boss, this is not a two league team peke yake. Utasema ati hao walipewa pena 10 si moja. Kwa hii ligi kuna watu wamepewa pena ligi timu mzima. So when we were playing against Bomet wame lose 2-1. Where is Gor Mahia and other team involved there? Hatuwezi kuwa tuna reason hivyo. Na wewe ni coach, kwanza senior coach wa top club in Kenya. Hapo nebze Ambani jo
Let's talk about Fred Ambani's remarks and AFC Leopards performance this season.
I'll give it a different dimension and personally I will blame FKF because FKF is in charge of organizing the league and organizing the league doesn't just mean what happens on the pitch alone. Yeah. It also means what happens off the pitch. FKF have failed to take disciplinary action for several actions that warranted some of these players, coaches, managers, and officials that now has caused that precedent has already been set such that everyone knows if I talk this, I'll just get away with it. The first instance, for example, Bandari played against Gor Mahia. Alain Galeka, the Bandari goalkeeper, manhandled the referee. To date, we have never seen any action against the goalkeeper being taken. We have not seen anything being said about it by the federation who are in charge of organizing the league. The second instance, Gor Mahia midfielder Enoch Morrison took to his social media platforms and said that referees have already a predetermined mind while coming to the matches. That is a thing that should warrant disciplinary action. We have seen that being taken in the Premier League when Mikel Arteta said that he had to be fined. Nothing was done. The third instant, Kibera Black Stars played a match against 3K FC. We also, it is captured on video, Kibera Black Stars fans and a section of players assaulting the match officials. To date, not even a statement has been put out by FKF. And then yesterday, we saw those unfortunate remarks by AFC Leopard head coach Fred Ambani. And I think it's very unfortunate that such words had to be said by someone coaching a top club like AFC Leopard. When it comes to Kenyan football, the mention of Kenyan football alone you cannot mention Kenyan football without mentioning Gor Mahia and AFC Leopards. So very unfortunate remarks from Coach Ambani. I think even though he felt that the club was aggrieved, there were better ways to put it and not the exact words he said on camera and on the live broadcast. So I hope FKF are planning to take disciplinary actions going forward, especially next season. If we don't do that, then be rest assured that we'll see such actions continue.
So I think FKF need to do something, because if he doesn't do something, everybody will be talking the way they want. Watageuza football into hooliganism. But let's move on, whereby Junior Starlets will draw with Uganda 1-1. They'll be having their second leg, I think, on the 30th. Here at home. Performance, let's talk about the Junior Starlets, vile walicheza. Them being away, a draw for me, si kitu mbaya, but Coach Mildred Cheche really, back the second leg hapa nyumbani, they really need to beat Uganda. Ama ni aje Dollar Standi?
Definitely Kenya needs to beat Uganda, because aside from everything else, it is up for the bragging rights. Yeah. We cannot simply afford to lose to Uganda. So I did not watch the match because I had some work engagements on Friday. But the 1-1 draw is a good thing for us. If you happen to have followed the first leg, we played against Namibia. We drew them 1-1 in Windhoek, came at home and secured that 5-0 victory. Uganda, I know they want to disapprove us because last year we eliminated them 5-0. This year they want to now try and cause an upset. But the good thing about Coach Mildred Cheche is she has always used the first leg as a learning tool to how now counter the second leg. We saw that against Ethiopia last year. We saw that against Burundi in 2024. And we saw that against Namibia this year in the first round, where we have seen it against Uganda. So expect massive fireworks when we play them in the second leg. Uganda have a top coach in Cheryl Botez. The South African has been one of the catalysts for their success in the under-20 and under-17 squads. But I do expect us to perform because, yeah, we have that capability, and we are also playing the second leg at home. One of the things that I love about the FIFA World Cup qualifiers is we have that away goal. That basically means if the match even ends in a goalless draw at home, we progress thanks to scoring an away goal. But that was some very superb goal by Emily Adhiambo we scored on that day. I saw the clip and I could just wow and marvel at the kind of quality she possesses.
It was indeed a very fantastic goal. Felix, let's talk about your Junior Starlets before we move on to the Harambee Stars. Watu wameongea sana na tena na tena. Let's talk about the Junior Starlets.
I once told you, Katela, if there's a team that will take us to World Cup, like the way Arocha always say, is these girls, the under-17s, under-20 senior team, because the development of these girls is going high, completely high. Because at the end of the day, if we can put development in these young kids, and make sure this team we have keep it for almost 3 consecutive years, these girls can go far. I watched the game against Namibia when they played in Ulinzi Complex. These girls, the support that they get from Kenyans can really push these girls. And come Saturday, I'm sure Katela will be there. We have to support these girls.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we have to support these girls. And we'll go to World Cup.
To just study the same way we did. The same way we did to the FIFA series, tafadhali, to just stadium, we support our girls. Now, let's move on to the Harambee Stars and head coach Ben McCarthy's squad. Waliweza katoa pale with the goalkeepers, the likes of Brian Omondi. And then still people are questioning as to why Lenkupai anaitwa kwa national team being unattached. A lot of people are really talking, but let's talk about Harambee Stars. And some are questioning why the squad lacks some of the active and some of the best players currently in the Kenya Premier League that are not in the national team. Dollar Stanley.
Personally, I've always maintained the position that if you're not playing at club level, you have no business being in the national team because there are more deserving players. William Lenkupae, nothing against him, but the truth of the matter is he has been unattached and therefore should not be called up to the national team setup. When, for example, Trent Alexander-Arnold has not been at his best, he has not been called to the national team for the World Cup. If it was about just your quality alone, then maybe we could have seen the likes of Luke Shaw, the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold being called to the England squad. So Benny McCarthy, I will disagree with him based on his selections. Some of the players he has selected there are not playing at club level, and that tells you that maybe I will say that he has not been hands-on. Personally, I've been a critic of him because I feel he takes the national team assignments more as a side quest, not as his primary role. For example, this season, I doubt if our head coach, Benny McCarthy, has attended more than 3 league matches. I saw him in one match between Mathare and Kariobangi Sharks in the first leg, but I did not even see him in the 2 biggest matches of our country, that is the Mashemeji Derby. I did not see him. So Coach McCarthy, as we head into the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations, we cannot afford just to gamble with everything. I saw he has called up to 5 new foreign-based players, Mika Biero, Dean Woodman, Caleb Kramer being called back to the national team. Maybe he's gonna disapprove me because they say coaching is a risk and the end product is what justifies the means. But for Coach McCarthy, I'm disappointed because when he first came in, I attended his first press conference and he said merit will be his go-to when it comes to selecting the national team. But then again, he has doubled down on what he believed in initially and now said he'll choose loyalty over quality.
Do you agree with what Dola Stan is saying about the Harambee Stars coach Ben McCarthy's squad this season?
If Stanley is saying about the coach said that we talk about loyalty over quality, then how many people are loyal to Kenya? Very many. Sometimes you have to go for quality. You ask me, right now, I said this earlier, why is Aroko not in that team? Currently, he's one of the best, youngest player in Kenyan Premier League. And the stats can tell you, Aroko should be, if you ask me, should be in that national team. We have Waidera, who is a leading top scorer in Kenyan Premier League. We have Shuma, who is leading top scorer in Zambian's league. Why not having these good players in this team? We are going for friendlies. We are not going for qualifiers or anything. Have these players. You have likes of Olunga, who you are very sure of them, unless they have injury. You are very sure of them, you'll have them in AFCON or qualifiers. Keep these players. Have these players who have been playing very good in their current league. I'm very happy they called Stanley, the one playing in Ayaka Athens. Yesterday he gave an assist. One of the youngest player for me, in watch Ayaka Athens playing, is one of the best players. Call such players. Don't tell me today you're calling Likupai a player who is unattached, and then you tell me you want to develop Kenyan football. You are not developing Kenyan football. There are players who are playing in Europe, but if you look at those leagues in Europe, they are not that competitive and even better than Kenyan league. But because someone is playing in Europe, you may get that call up.
Just a little bit problem. To add on what Felix is saying, yes, on players playing in Europe, I don't get the logic behind calling maybe a player in the 4th tier of English football while leaving out someone like Timothy Ouma, who has just won the league in Poland. So it doesn't make sense for some of us. But then we'll leave the coach do his job, but we'll criticize him where we feel that maybe he's not doing enough for Kenyans.
Well, we wish all the best to Harambee Stars, and I hope Coach Ben McCarthy will have all the answers to the question that the Kenyans will be asking him. Now, let's move on to the World Cup. The World Cup is starting on the 11th of June. Whereby Thomas Tuchel has been criticized over the England squad selection, leaving out the likes of Cole Palmer, leaving out the likes of Harry Maguire. Some of the key players in the English Premier League, Trent Alexander-Arnold is there, Jared Bowen, of which we can understand Jared Bowen because of Meshuka, but anyway, he's still a very good player. Phil Foden, actually. You know, some people are really saying hii kikosi hakuna mali naenda. Watu wanasema hii kikosi, the 3 Lions this season, hakuna mali wanaenda. If you look at England squad right now, Dean Anderson, Jordan Pickford, James Trafford, those are they've been doing good in the league. And then we have Dan Burn, of which to me, Dan Burn, Maguire is fine, Reece James, the defenders, Ezri Konza, we have Lewis Kelly, Jarell Quansah has been doing good, Jen Spence and John Stones, those are the defenders. And when you look at the midfielders, Elliot Anderson, Morgan Gibbs-White, Jordan Anderson, Loftus-Cheek is there, Declan Rice and Morgan Rogers. And then forwards, we are having Jared Bowen, Eberechi Eze, Anthony Gordon, Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford, Bukayo Saka, and Oli Watkins. A lot of people were asking as to why the likes of Cole Palmer ameachwa nje, Phil Foden ameachwa nje, Harry Maguire, you know, ama tusemeaje about Thomas Tuchel, because a lot are saying that Saka at least sawa ko hapo. Marcus Rashford has been doing good at Barcelona. I don't have a problem with the goalkeepers. They are fantastic. Actually, having James Trafford there, ever since Ali saved penalty Mo Salah, he has been my favorite young player. Dola Stanley, ikikosi ya 3 Lions, ya Thomas Tuchel.
I watched Thomas Tuchel squad presentation at St. George's Park, and he said that one of the things he's prioritizing on is versatility, because he's trying to build a team, not just a collection of the best individual players. But for me, one of the biggest surprises has to be Harry Maguire being omitted out of the squad. The reality is, anytime Maguire has been called up for the England national team, he has stepped up, he has performed. I was surprised that John Stones has played like around only 8 matches this season. He was called up to the team. Some of the surprise omissions that some of the omissions that I was not surprised, the likes of Cole Palmer. Palmer has not had the best of seasons, and then when you look at his positions, the people he is competing against, Jude Bellingham, Morgan Rogers, Eberechi Eze, superb. Noni Madueke has been called up to that squad just because he is an beneficiary of what they call the positional deficiency. England don't have so many good right wingers, and they only had like Bukayo Saka, Noni Madueke and Jared Bowen to pick from. So they picked Bowen, and they picked Bukayo Saka, who's most likely going to be a starter, and Noni Madueke. In the midfield, I think superb selection by Thomas Tuchel in midfield. Elliot Anderson has had an amazing season at Nottingham Forest. Kobe Mino, the same at Manchester United. Jude Bellingham, a no-brainer, had to be included in that squad. For the defense, I have doubts. I could have taken Alexander-Arnold because one of the things he does is a player who can create a chance out of anything. He is very good at set pieces. I would have also taken Luke Shaw. He is more of a natural left back. Tuchel has taken Jed Spence. Spence has been playing as a makeshift left back because he's primarily a right back. So it's going to be interesting to see how it boils down. But England, I don't think they'll progress far. I was England's fan in the last World Cup, but that central defense is giving me worries because I don't think it's the best place. So for me, as a Cristiano Ronaldo and Portugal fan, I can only wait to see if they'll be up to the task. If possible, we'll meet them in the quarterfinals. You'll meet England in the quarterfinals. You as Team Portugal. Remember, France is there. France is still remaining as a threat. There are some teams that we have of the World Cup. Tafadhali, can we have them on the screen? We can see Africa, the teams like Morocco, Egypt, Tunisia, Algeria, Senegal, Ghana, Congo, which really surprised me, Ivory Coast, and South Africa. Wako pale now. For me, hapa nitaenda na nini na Senegal.
Now, let's see the teams from Asia. We can see Japan, South Korea, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Australia. Hii jina inakuanga ni Uzbekistan. And Jordan. Inakuanga jina ngumu sana. And then from Europe, we have England, France, Germany, Spain, Portugal, Netherlands, Belgium, and Croatia. Now, I think me and Dollar Stanley tutabishana sana because me am Team France. And then Switzerland, Australia, Norway, Scotland, Sweden, Turkey, Bosnia, and then Czech Republic. I can see you laughing. Uko team gani wewe? World Cup.
Hakuna mluya sifa wa France. Tani ndo wa kwanza.
We can see the teams from South America. We have Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, Colombia, Ecuador, and Paraguay. And then we can move on to North America. These are the teams that will be participating in the World Cup. We have the host, USA as the host, Mexico, Canada, Panama, Haiti, and Curacao, you know. And then from the host nations, unaona sasa, Canada, USA, and Mexico. Actually, the first time World Cup inakuwa na 3 hosts
Ujaniza kwa nacheka.
Why you laughing? Unasema hakuna mluya si fan wa France.
Logo ya France ni nini?
Oh wow, Jogo.
Mimi ni Portugal. Mimi ni Portugal.
There's no way mtakuwa Portugal.
Sasa
no, no. Either you have to decide nani atakuwa team Portugal na mwingine achagua ingine.
Hatuwezi decide.
You just have to decide right here. Now, something happened where Neymar alitoa back to the Brazil squad. Manze na watu walifurahia sana. But again alipata tena injury.
I think Joao Pedro's gods are overworking.
Joana deserve.
Because Neymar's been on and off. The reality is the last 3 or so years has been a downward spiral. If you asked anyone in 2022 that Neymar will be begging to be called back to the Brazil squad, he will tell you it won't happen even in the next 5-6 years. But it just points to the huge talent pool that Brazil have. So yes, he can still give them something, but I don't think he will be going to the World Cup at his best. I see that more as a politically correct decision, not even a footballing decision, because if you fail to call up Neymar, then everyone will be on your neck. Every single headline will be about you failing to include Neymar. So maybe Coach Ancelotti has called Neymar just to have him in the squad, give him his minutes, fail to perform, and now you have justification why you are having him on the bench. But kudos to him. He's a very big idol of so many kids, everyone in the streets of Brazil. I saw videos from Sao Paulo to Rio de Janeiro. Everyone was celebrating his inclusion in the national team. And yeah, for me, there are not so many global icons when it comes to sporting events that can pull such masses. Aside from maybe Cristiano Ronaldo, Michael Jordan, I know you want me to mention Lionel Messi.
You just have to
yes. Aside from the likes of Max Verstappen, there are not so many icons that can pull such numbers. So yeah, it's a politically correct decision, but it's what Portugal need at the moment, what Brazil need at the moment. But I don't see him starting over Rafinha, Neymar, and Vinicius in attack.
Even Coach Ancelotti said calling him doesn't guarantee he's starting. Your take on Neymar being called to the Brazil national team, and then we can read the feedbacks that some of our viewers have sent on our WhatsApp number.
That's what I'm saying, ni pressure.
Pressure too.
But Brazil ilisha 2006. For real, that's the last Brazil ilikuwa serious na ball. Nowadays, usho na Brazil mweusi. Tulianza na Fred.
Now, let me read some of your feedbacks, and a reminder of our question of the day was, what's your opinion on the Arsenal fan celebration? And I can read some of your feedback on our WhatsApp number. It's 0793267279. And I can see congratulations, Gunners. And then here said compare and contrast. Anyway, you ameleta mambo ya politics hapo, right? And here's another one of some of the comments on first season. Actually, we asked about Arsenal, but you naona ametuma about Manchester United, of which anasema first season for Mbeumo, Cunha and Shesko very good. Next season they will do more good. And I can see another one. Webu updates this WhatsApp comments. I can see you update them on WhatsApp and then send them to me. And I can see, compare and contrast, they happen to be Arsenal fans, Raila and Ruto. So congratulations to the Gunners. I don't know if my director can to me some of the comments on to my WhatsApp number tuweze kupita nazo. Now, back to the World Cup squad. Do you think, do you see Portugal, can Portugal win the World Cup? I know you'll say yes.
It should be a matter of when, not if. This is our year. This is our year as Cristiano Ronaldo fans. This is our year as Portugal. It has never been this close. With the way all the midfield of Joao Neves, Vitinha and Bruno Fernandes, Joao Felix coming off a very good season in the Saudi Pro League, and the likes of Pedro Neto and Conceição as the supporting roles, then this should be the year we lift the World Cup. But my biggest worry is people have been saying bench Cristiano Ronaldo, he's past away his prime. But who's in that central forward role that could play the job Cristiano Ronaldo is doing? Goncalo Ramos, not even a starter at PSG. He has been subpar. Imagine being the second striker for a team with no striker. You know, PSG does not play with a center forward. So imagine being the second choice striker in a team with no striker. So this should be our year.
Now, just a question to you, Felix. Najua pia na Portugal utasema ni which team do you think will, which country will make Africa shine in the World Cup?
Dr. Congo. Dr. Congo. Dr. Congo.
Why are you saying?
Dr. Congo. Mimi ukiniuliza hiyo team hizo playoff.
Okay, uiseme kuna mtu ajashikanisha kitu umesema. Which team are you supporting in Africa?
Africa. Usually I support all sub-Saharan teams, but I always have a bias towards Ghana. So the Black Stars of Ghana.
Okay.
DRC Congo. Dr. Congo.
DRC Congo qualifying for the World Cup actually ilikuwa surprise sana.
It wasn't surprise. They were sure. Mimi nilikuwa sure venye pia Stanley amesema. Okay, ukiniuliza Portugal kuna kwa team kuna players wanaitwa fear factors. Unapata you may not be in good form but kuna fear factor. Do you know why Neymar is in Brazil? Pia fan base itafanya nini? Kuna fan wanaweza enda hata kuona tu Neymar na hiyo fan base itasaidia sana. Kuna hiyo fear factor of a player akiwa grau. Ronaldo may not play even 60 minutes in a game. But akiwa ndani ya kiwanja kuna hiyo fear factor. At 41 years the player have scored for 28 goals. Ampiga 28 goals inamaanisha there's no one can fit in Ronaldo's shoes in Portugal. And let me tell you, Ronaldo have been lifting Portugal by its own. Ye peke yake. So it's time now Portugal pia ibebe Ronaldo sasa. Because Ronaldo amechukua Portugal akaiweka kwa map. Before Ronaldo came to Portugal were not even playing in Euros, even in World Cup. But since Ronaldo came, they have never failed playing in Europe, World Cup. They have won 4 trophies. 3 trophies. They have won 3 trophies.
3 trophies.
Yeah, he's a player, lazima sasa sehemu mbebe. At 41, he may not have that energy alikuwa nayo some years back. So it's time Portugal wakina Bruno, Neves, Vitinha waanze kubeba mtu kwa mgongo sasa. Na kumbeba ni aje? Win trophy for this man.
Well, there you have it. Portugal fans right here very optimistic on winning the World Cup this year. But again, good people, yote tunamwachia God. We've seen England. For me, najua England yendi mahali. I support France. France ni kuku. But thank you so much, Dr. Stanley. Thank you so much. We meet here next Monday morning from 8 p.m. Remember, on the 30th, we've got 2 big assignments. We've got the Junior Starlets playing right here at home versus Uganda. And still, the finals of the UEFA Champions League. Arsenal versus PSG. Good people, thank you so much. Let's meet on Monday. It has been Monday Blitz. I am Katela Macy. Good morning.